What is happening, guys? Fallen from OTB here, coming in with a War number 3 video here. We have done a couple of recordings as of yesterday, and now we're going to see how far we can get here today. Maybe do just this war. My voice is actually getting destroyed from doing these videos, so I'm going to do what I can to keep up with everything. Diving right into it here, Equinox hitting number 1. And very common base we are seeing here. Can definitely see where there is a lot of value to get here with the Duke, and we'll see which angle he comes in. Kind of starting up here right in the middle. Makes me wonder if he's going to come in right at the town hall, the way that the Duke is set up. Wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. And he's got the drag riders here, trying to push forward. Gonna be able to get a good chain on those defenses here, take care of the sweeper. That'll be great for later. And we are chasing the queen. Such a common issue always to pay mind to. Chasing queen, chasing troops all around. It is a disaster zone a lot of the times, the way the Duke can struggle in certain areas on the walk. But we've got a decent amount of defenses down, a little bit of an awkward bottom section here, and does seem pretty clear that the drag riders are going to be coming in here from the top, which is a pretty good idea. Taking care of that town hall nice and early, especially in a CWL week, is more than likely a better option. A little bit of help here with those loons coming in to clean up everything. We've got a really nice funnel, 21% damage, and basically everything is good to go here. Starting that RC on the opposite side as well. Now really making me wonder which direction we're going to come in at. Probably it's looking more like the bottom now at this point. RC is going to get those pretty clutch defenses here on the side, and everything is a very clean funnel. Once again, baby, the drag riders are really going to have to be able to work with the pathing here, and this is exactly what he has done. Everything's coming up into this very dangerous core right here, where those drag riders can definitely eat a lot of damage from those multi-fernos. Things do get scary. We've got the OG spell here on the outside. We're just making sure everything is healthy at this point. When trying to consider the town hall, we have to remember that the only way to take them out is going to be from those inferno drags, and that is going to be extremely necessary to assure that kill, which they get in there very nicely. Again, thanks to the pathing, this base is crushed already. You can see it. Something to be aware of constantly is dealing with those heroes that are always finding a way to be crowding around the town hall bases with the new design. So that's something to be a little bit aware of, because it is really tough for drag riders to make it that distance across the base and then have to deal with all those heroes at the end. So that is a really good job by E. Number 2, we have Drum here. We have a central town hall ring base. Town Hall core as we're pushing through right there. Going to be able to take out a couple of those defenses there in the core, doing significant damage to all those defenses. And right now we are trying to create a funnel so we can move forward with those drags and the riders here to follow. Immediate ability there. Again, that's coming in on a lot of damage. So Drum is always very considerate of, he's understanding of where this damage is coming in from, and using that early ability is sometimes very necessary. A couple of the riders here went to core, going to pick off a couple of those defenses. Very crucial. Oh, that Revenge Tower did stay up with just a minuscule health. But we're going to push around here in the meantime and wait for that OG spell to expire. The rollers are just so annoying to have to deal with. Also, when dealing with the fire spitters, those get a little bit wild as you're pushing into them. And that Inferno Tower is going to, I believe, go down here. Oh no, that's just a lot of damage coming in. Are we going to be able to take care of it? Inferno Tower down, that's great. So from what's left up here, Duke does go down, but we're talking about 2 revives here that are going to be more than enough to get the job done. And confidently Drum presses forward here. Maybe we'll do a revive right about now while things are being tanked. And he's going to come back up, as we see. Made short work of everything. We still have a couple spells in the pocket there to use if we need to. Drum has done it again. An excellent week for Drum and his multiple accounts. Log rollers, let's look at what they do. They are vicious. Imagine if that were a pile of drag riders or drags trying to get to the town hall. That's just scary to have to deal with. Revenge Tower finally going down, and we've got it. Drum has got it down. So had a couple misses this war. Josh hitting number 4. Central Town Hall, have to be careful about how pathing works here. You definitely have to clear out both sides in order to get a successful push with those dragons here. He runs the 8-7 combo. I'm watching this very closely with him. This is an excellent strategy as well. I like to see strong on the drag riders. I run usually more drags now, the 10-6 combo. I think either one works just as fine. You just have to be a little bit more prepared to handle those drag riders for what they are. We're blasting through here, and Duke is going to pick it up on the side. So we've cut out that pathing down here, which is going to be easy for a minion or just one dragon, and actually over here as well. So either direction you do look to come in, both of them very optimal. Do have that Rage Tower popping there. Early ability as needed, just because of that significant amount of damage that's coming in. We want to deal with that Rage compartment before the damage comes into them. So 2 options when it comes to the Log Roller there in the middle on defense. We either freeze it or we send a totem the other direction, so it just completely avoids any type of pushing of the troops here. So things are going to go down, a little bit low health in the core. That Revenge Tower is finally going to go down here shortly as well. That's perfect. We've got two spells for the back end here to help, including the Revive. And that is not even needed. It's just completely destroyed, bringing back the Minion Prince here in order to take care of that side. And we have no issue at all here getting through. Really well handled. Wasn't sure which angle we were going to start at, but it does make sense actually to start at that 10, 11 o'clock there. And the space is done. Good work to Josh. Excellent week for Josh here as well. We got new on number 5. Another interesting compartment base here. What I do like to see is the value here for the Prince, or for the Duke. Duke's going to be able to kind of cook his way up along, hopefully not, I don't know if the plan was to go around the outside here or try and cut it up through into the middle a little bit. My guess is we're wanting our pathing here on the flat side, but I suppose we could come in on either direction here depending on which direction the Duke does go. Duke is probably going to cut right here, so he's going to push up that side. I think this is going to work really well. There we have King along the side. We have the bowlers coming in here now too. I definitely forgot to mention bowler attack here is going to be really decent play. So New's been working with those bowlers. He's been doing a really good job, and now we have a very clear pathing for those bowlers to push up the middle. Which is in the CC, a little bit annoying sometimes, a little scary. Had to use that ability, and this is really just to push everything forward right now. I love this equipment here for ground troops. It's so nice to have to basically leave jump behind. I'm starting to think that jump should almost be like an individual singular spell now, with the very little use it's seen, thanks to the Warden ability here. But that is a huge part of the attack to get those bowlers moving forward, especially while being untouched or immune from damage. Really just for pushing around the outside with those heroes up top there. Duke comes back alive, and look at the damage the Duke is doing down here to all these defenses. I mean, that is something that can stop a whole army, but Duke is making it look easy, even under that air defense right there that was doing damage. So he just got through without a problem. New has done it here as well. A really good job. Easy kill. That seems to be working really well for him. We got Germ. Also an excellent attacker, having a great week himself. Germ going in on number 6 here. We're starting right away to take care of those defenses across the middle here. Clan Castle completely destroyed, just wiped off of the map. Here we have the infamous Thrower army, which is really cool. He's been using those all week, and it's an excellent source of really just mixing up those different styles of attacks. I love to see that. We're going to be pushing here up around the outside a little bit. King set that pathing really easily. Queen's going to be setting up here going through the bottom. And, I mean, we see everything that we have here moving forward, so these throwers are really going to be able to get a good job done. Started that CC right there. We are launching those troops out. Duke handling himself here. We're pushing into the Town Hall compartment. This is where our ability is going to come in, and we're just waiting so those troops can assure that they're moving forward, because after this ability is up, we have the rest of the base that we're going to have to be worried about getting through. And right now there's no damage on them, so we're not forcing that ability yet. Everything is just moving past, killing those defenses. Everything's kind of frozen. Now we have the ability to use the Warden Tome when those troops are actually taking damage here on this back half of the base. So always being mindful of how that works. And excuse me, I was talking about a tome that actually is not part of the ability used here by the Warden, so that it's actually nothing. So my bad on that call. But here things are staying pretty healthy. Revenge Tower is really the biggest threat right here, but there are just too many troops alive. It is not going to be able to, cannot come back from that amount of damage, and those troops that are left throwers are fantastic. That's the problem about doing these these attacks like live or like on the fly, is I'm expecting to see something and I'm like, oh wait a minute, you know, that's not that's not exactly how it works. I'm waiting for an eternal tome, but never existed. You know. Jimmy hitting number 7. He does the 11-5, another thing I've been watching very closely here. Duke starting out here. We have the Tesla traps on the outside. Not sure if the goal is, oh yes, so he has the invis, so the goal definitely usually is to push into those high point defense things. It looks like we're going to be kind of going around that here, possibly. I don't see a world where we're going to be able to head toward the monolith in this case. Just so much damage that is coming in, very scary. And here we go. We've actually gotten to the monolith. That's going to really benefit well. We are out of spells, but we have done the damage there, as I like to say. And a really good job if we can get that Revenge Tower down. Indeed, that was a huge benefit right there. So now what do we do with these Drag Riders? Starting right there, sure enough, across the outside here, lots of damage in on that. I'm thinking exactly the same thing. You just want to blast those things up. So those Drag Riders are going to have to go around just a tiny bit here to make up for those defenses. In hindsight, like personally, what I may have done is start a couple Drag Riders up there so we could deal with that, and then push everything forward without having to backtrack, in hopes to be able to use an ability potentially a little bit later. But that, obviously, this was a triple, so this worked out just fine. I'm not trying to critique something that actually worked really well, just trying to think of the mindset. I feel kind of bad sometimes trying to point out to some people like what they should have done or what they might have done wrong. I mean, it's a triple, but this is an educational video, and I'm just kind of talking about what I'm thinking. So with all these Drag Riders, they're able to get to all these defenses more quickly than you would if drags are incorporated into the attack. They're getting right to those defenses immediately. So you're not having to worry about your things being stuck behind or getting stuck on other buildings or whatever. They're just getting in there, they're getting the job done. Drag Riders definitely are weak to the Fire Spitters, though. They take a lot of damage from those. And something that we see in my attacks as well, is I just get chewed up by those things. So Jimmy has done a great job here. Number 7 goes down. I love the 11-5 combo. That's actually pretty nice. Okay. SCP hitting number 9. SCP's been using his nice army here, the 9-6 with a few loons. Going across the side here, trying to get... I'm not sure exactly what he got. I think he might have missed, or maybe was going for the air defense, or just missed the opportunity at the blower. Regardless of that, again, that still worked. Ooh, we're going to be able to push into here. Are we going to be able to get that? No, he's going to immediately send the army in. The pathing has been set. We're going to be able to move forward. We're going to be able to deal with the the roller here. Oh, that is so annoying, and it does so much damage too. So we're going to be seeing that ability here, yes. We're going against a puffer, so we do have to rage, we have to freeze, we have to do all the things we need to do to assure that we get in there with the highest amount of health as possible going into the core. Look at this back half of defenses. We have to deal with blowers or fire spitters and a lot of heroes and things like that too. So we're not going to be able to get away with having lower health heroes. So we do have the freeze. We're going to be using that freeze here. Boom. And across the back end to get as many things slowed down as possible. The drag riders working their way around the outside, going to be able to get things pretty decently taken care of. We just have one air defense frozen, might as well use that. And this is still slowed and frozen here. The Super Whiz Tower does a lot of damage. Very good point defense as well. So we're sitting on a revive. That's going to be able to work just fine here. And it almost got down there a little bit, but not really. Still made quick work of him. Here's a TAM attack on number 11. TAM also using the Duke. He's this guy does just everything, man. So we are going to come in, once again, because we have the invis that allows us to be able to deal with those heavy point defenses that Duke would not usually be able to challenge on his own. So here, unfortunately, we're under the, we're being poisoned here a little bit. We are going to finally take care of that and just kind of go flat with all those defenses up ahead here. So if we can get that revenge tower, or if we can, I was going to say, if we can push down there as well, that would be just fine. And because Duke loves those troops so much, we are going to force having to deal with that. It's hard to regain yourself after the Duke goes a completely different direction. A lot of the times this is already when you've started an attack a particular direction. So he went with the queen damage up top there. I do love using that ability early because now those queens are going to be able to do all that amount of extra damage, pick off those outside defenses, and do literally just maximum damage to set that pathing and just kind of DPS race their way across. She also has Diggy, who's in there to freeze up some of those defenses. Kind of assist here as we're pushing everything forward. We have an excellent push here with that pathing in, a really, really nice ability. Everything is pushing like crazy through this space. This is insane how strong this ended up working out. And again, it's just setting that pathing early, getting that queen damage out there as well, and those things just blasted forward here. That was insane. We had 2 rages, so that's what allowed us to do that. We left the overgrowth behind on that. That's really, really effective. Holy cow. Here we've got Drum coming in. Some of these bases, I don't like how they work, so I'm so glad it works for some people. Look at that, we have 1 air defense down, took out a lot of those defenses, and the spitter is down as well. That's actually going to work really well. So here we have a danger zone. We are having to push across this, oh, it just has like 1 HP on there too. And just in case we are able to move forward, we would be dealing with dealing with that log roller on defense as well. So starting those troops up top here, I kind of enjoy this entry point. You're going to see some troops split up top here and run around the outside, pick off some defenses. Well, the other ones are the necessary ones are going to be able to push into the town hall. But really the direction of this base is not about cutting across, it's kind of about working around the outside here. So we just have to make sure we kill that town hall. Maybe, yep, I was going to say maybe using the last totem here just to assure that Revenge Tower goes down. We have no other major point defenses that are going to be too significant to have to deal with here. Once that OG is up on the bottom, you know, we're just going to end up reviving that Duke to deal with that down there anyways. So we might lose a few drags or a couple things get picked off here. It's no big deal. Duke will be back up maybe when that rage expires, maybe sooner. And we do have that freeze by the Minion Prince as well. This attack has been working so strong. Watching people use this all week has been really nice, but I've also really enjoyed the use of the other types of attacks as well. It's just really nice to see. Well, everything is frozen. Duke is going to be able to tank anything under the sun right over there. Those last defenses are up. This base is crushed once again. Not the easiest bases, but we're seeing how to deal with them, and we're seeing what works for people, and odds are these guys are doing it at least, you know, 95% of the time. They're going to be able to push through these bases, so that is great. Warlock. So here we have Tam once again, lots of clusters of buildings, lots of areas where Duke is going to get major value. He's got 7 invis, so he's very committed here in dealing with this walk, so we're really trying to push one of these directions. And then we're adjusting off of which direction he's pushing. Lots of damage coming in. We had no choice but to keep the Fox and the Duke safe, but the Duke decides to charge over to deal with all those heroes over there as usual. This is actually working in a really positive way because now we're able to take care of that core kind of just without, you know, without having anything too strong to, you know, most of that core has been beat up here pretty good, so. Duke turns around to go randomly after those troops once again. And he blows up and he triggers the poison, so that's really good, or the freeze, so that is beautiful. So here I'm thinking we go in, I mean, yeah, I was thinking probably the corner right here. I always get a little bit nervous sending drags in when they could be pushing up the left side and could make things really awkward, and kind of like missing the opportunity to go around and get, you know, to get the town hall instead. But here we're going to see an ability probably pretty early here. Wouldn't be surprised. Nope, there we go. Yeah, so everything will go down, get healed up to full. We're going to be able to deal with those few. The few drags will stay behind to kind of walk the line out there. And those loons should be enough to get up there and deal with that. Yep, sure enough, that goes down. Now we can finally start pushing in and dealing with that. The blower is annoying. We definitely planned on getting that blower more than likely with the Duke, but neither here nor there. It does appear to work. We have no spells left to use, so we are just hoping to kind of get in there and deal with everything without any extra support. It's okay to use your spells early if you have a plan. Obviously, you're trying to hang on to your spells the best you can for when you need them, but, you know, seeing here, it's just not even, no competition on that defense. Yes. Tam does it again. Okay, couple attacks left. Drum, drum. So here we are. Drumming starting the Duke in a very safe place. The loons come down, drags behind them. Drag riders following that up as well. The Prince kind of off on the side here, but Prince is going to have a really, really good straight shot probably into this backside here. We've seen this base before as well. It is a pretty strong base. We're going to see the ability here probably. Okay, everything's good. It is not a heal on... Okay, yep, so he used the fireball with that. And the late CC, which I'm pretty sure I remembered seeing, I think he had a comment about that. Maybe it just didn't deploy, or, you know, we tend to forget sometimes, too. It happens. Prince is going to need to do a lot here. This is what I've seen very commonly with this attack, is a lot of these troops do fizzle out going into this last section here. We have 3 defensive spells or offensive spells to use. Those are going to be going down here pretty quickly. We don't have much time to react. So once again, it does come down to how much work the revives are going to be able to do, and hopefully the Duke is going to be able to just pick up here in the corner and just start going crazy. That's good. Got a few more extra defenses right there. Things are looking decent. So we have 3 revives. We're bringing the Prince back. Prince is just going to do it all. We don't even need the Duke hardly. Prince is usually really squishy, so if he's around a lot of defenses, not usually smart to pick up, but he does do like the highest damage, so it's just really important to have him. It's just a DPS race here in those last couple defenses. Actually pretty strong defenses here. We had a close one here, folks. But he got it done. And DJ following up on number 15. Ooh, kind of an awkward base here. We don't know what direction are we coming in. Going across the base, triggering that invis. Queen, I didn't catch what the Queen did here. I mean, definitely contributed to some damage in here that the Duke had provided. I think the spell tower went out as well, so that's probably good. And just starting our troops right here, when this funneling has been pretty decently made, it's just kind of what you're going to get. We are going into a blower, which is super scary. Makes me nervous. We got the log launcher as well to deal with on the backside here. And we don't have any OG spells, so we are very weak to pushing around the outside, which is actually maybe not even the worst idea in the world. Blower, again, there's not much to blow. The Duke always has issues trying to get through there. So now I'm just wondering how these defenses are going to be able to be picked off, and are we going to be able to deal with that monolith there, and are we going to be able to come all the way back down and deal with this town hall after the Queen eventually goes down? Queen's going to bash on a wall instead of kill the town hall. That's always scary. Are we going to have anything in here to deal with the monolith? It's really tough to know at this point. The healers have stayed strong, but we are going to have to deal with the damage coming in from that monolith is going to eventually start hitting those healers, as well as that Inferno Tower, which finally does go down. Oh wow, that actually worked so well. That was dealt with there. Okay. Got that Super Witch as well in there. Very helpful for tanking through. We're going to have to blast through these walls here super quick, which will be very possible. If you notice that with throwers do so much damage to the walls. They can fly through those walls pretty quickly and easily. Two throws will get you through there. And then we just have what is left here. DJ has done a great job. Excellent work, DJ. We've got so many more videos to do potentially here. Yeah, I'm just going to have to get around to doing those as soon as I can. All right, we're going to stop here. Good war, fellas. And moving onward and upward. This is Fallen from OTB signing off.